Yes, people, wife boy, and today we are discussing Mykhaylo Mudryk and his very close transfer to Arsenal Football Club. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below on my road to 2,000 subscribers if you love Arsenal transfer news and match reactions, and let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Mudryk to Arsenal. Let's start, as we always seem to do, with a Fabrizio Romano tweet. This just came out an hour or so ago. Arsenal have improved their proposal to sign Mykhaylo Mudryk, confirmed as talks are on after €40 million plus 20 million additions euro bid was rejected. It's up to Shakhtar now. As I spoke before, Arsenal did put in a first bid for Ukrainian international Mykhaylo Mudryk. It did get rejected by Shakhtar. That was no surprise to me. Shakhtar, or any club, seem to always reject the first bid, unless you're Cody Gakpo, it seems, because they want to try and prize more money for their assets. But the good thing is Arsenal gone in for a second bid. There's a lot of players that Arsenal put in an initial bid for, but it never seems to materialise because it's just to kind of test the waters. The fact Arsenal now gone in for a second bid and are in advanced talks with this second bid shows Arsenal really want this Mykhaylo Mudryk player, the one we've been chasing the whole transfer window and is the top of our January wish list. And the second point comes that Arsenal have agreed personal terms with this player already. Numerous reports have come out that a 5-year contract has been agreed for Mudryk. Of course he wants to come. This man has been twerking for Arsenal Football Club. On all his stories, he's talking about how he loves Arsenal, how he's talking about how Arteta's a great manager, he's watching all the games, and he's even on his latest reel put up a compilation of him for Shakhtar Donetsk, and in the background of the song, it's the one with the Drake and 21 Savage, where 21 Savage is saying about still yet to see the Gunners win the Premier League. So basically, every kind of indirect and direct sign that he wants to come to Arsenal, this man is giving. Now, yesterday, he put on his story that he was working out at 23:59, so about midnight, it seems. And Zinchenko was doing the same thing, actually. That was funny. Both Ukrainians, both working out at the gym at the same time. And you know what Arsenal are like. Our fan base, they all turn to Sherlock Holmes when it comes to a transfer. People have done some scouting, and apparently the times do correlate to him being in the British time zone. Also, the make of the company that did the bench press is a UK company, and the fact he's wearing hotel slippers, it seems, could mean that he is in the UK already. Now, this is a bit far-fetched. We've seen our fan base do this before. They track literally planes. They track people leaving the airport to go to London Colney. They even tracked Isak's Rolls Royce or whatever in London, even though that was complete BS because he never even came to Arsenal in the first place. So I think this is a bit far-fetched. This transfer will happen. I'm 100% confident that Mudryk will be at Arsenal by the end of this transfer window. We don't need to be doing all this tracking whether he's in England yet or not in England yet. If anything, we could do his medical in Shakhtar Donetsk if we need to. I don't think we will, because we want our medical to be done at London Colney with our professional doctors. So personal terms aren't an issue, as I never thought. It's now an advanced stage with this bid. Do Shakhtar Donetsk accept this bid? For me, I think they will. I think there's a little terms that need to be ironed out, but I think we're in the right ballpark. They mocked it when they said they wanted 100 million for this man. I get why they're saying that, because players like Anthony, like Jack Grealish, have gone for enormous sums of money, and their performances, let's be honest, have not correlated to the amount they've been charged and the amount they've been paid for. Mudryk is a top talent. He's one of the biggest rising stars in this league, and we know that Chelsea are hot also on their footprints to get Mudryk should this deal with Arsenal collapse. But he's not a £100 million player. He's unproven, as he's still only played in the Ukrainian league. Of course, a few performances in the Champions League, but it has only been the group stage. But 100 million is far too steep. We're in the right area. Around that 60, 70 million pound mark. Some guaranteed, some not guaranteed. Some up front, some not up front. We're getting to a right fee. I feel like both parties are moving in the right direction, and a deal will be reached. And this player is wanting the move. And when a player wants to move, more often than not, it means the bargaining chips are in Arsenal's favour. We're the ones that are saying, look, your player wants to come to Arsenal. We're seeing what he's posting on his story. We're seeing what he's saying in his interviews with Zinchenko's wife or whatever. The man wants to come. So you got to get it done. Because if he does not come to Arsenal's transfer window or gets a move, he might be upset with you lot. And you might end up getting less money on a transfer the year after. We've seen that happen a lot. Where a player holds out, the club are like, nope, you're not going anywhere. And then they end up leaving anyway the summer after because they're disgruntled and didn't have a great season. And they end up getting a less of a fee than they would have got if they just got rid of him up front already. So that's a big talking point. I think Shakhtar will wilt and will give up Mykhaylo Mudryk to Arsenal Football Club. They're just trying to get as much money as possible for their prize asset, for their player of the year. I don't blame them whatsoever. So let's talk about Mudryk now, because if this man does come to Arsenal, what can he bring to this football club? I'm going to pull up his stats now because, of course, if you want to be an Arsenal transfer news video, we also need to talk about Mykhaylo Mudryk's impact. This man in the Ukrainian Premier League, 12 matches, 7 goals, 7 assists. That is more goal contributions than matches played this season. That is unbelievable. What a stat. 7 goals, 7 assists. Now, we can all say it's the Ukrainian League. Of course it is. But the Ukrainian League has got look, obviously, it's not the best league in the world. Let's not make any mistake about it. Shakhtar Donetsk are by far the best team in that league. But you're still contributing. You're a young guy, only 21 years old. You've had big clubs chasing you, likes of Real Madrid, for example. Chelsea also want this player. He can definitely perform. He's got something about him. Even the way he's scoring his goals, he's direct. Though I see the goals he scores, right? It's not like it's poor goalkeeping. This man puts it into the top corner and bottom corner of the net. It doesn't matter if it's Ramsdale in goal, some Ukrainian goalkeeper, or Manuel Neuer in goal. If you put it in the corner of the net, more often than not, it's going to go in. Let's be completely honest. And that's the way this man's scoring. One thing that does worry me, though, is his discipline record. 12 matches, 3 yellow cards, and 1 red card. We do not need a hothead in our team. We've had enough over the years. Xhaka, for example, going absolutely crazy. We need a disciplined player. To be fair, our front line, it does look kind of disciplined. I mean, Jesus, Martinelli, Ødegaard, Saka, of course we've got Nketiah coming in now. None of them really seem to lose their head, to be honest. Whereas in previous years in other clubs, players do seem to lose their head. I'm seeing it with Haaland. This man goes absolutely ballistic when something doesn't go his way. We saw him against Ben Godfrey. He wanted to basically fight Godfrey on the pitch like it was UFC. He can go crazy. Nunes, we know he's got a track record of being a bit crazy, headbutting Joachim Andersen, I believe, in his first home game for Liverpool Football Club. We don't really want someone to come into the team and disrupt the flow by being a little bit crazy. So I think he does need to iron that out. He does seem like a bit of a bad boy footballer, you know, the tattoos, the hairstyle, etc., the way he plays. But Arteta needs to talk to him and say, look, we get it, you're aggressive, you're a fiery player, translate it into the pitch, but don't take it off the pitch and don't try and start fights on the football pitch, for example. We need you to be disciplined in this Arsenal team. But in the Champions League, his record is top. 6 matches, 3 goals. A goal every 2 games. Bear in mind they had Celtic and Real Madrid in their group, Shakhtar Donetsk. So, in the Bernabeu, apparently, he lit that game up. And for me, if you can play well against Real Madrid, you can play well against pretty much any team. Because that's the pinnacle of European football, the holders of the Champions League, and one of the best teams in the world right now. And he's pulling it off on a big stage. So, if he does come to Arsenal, as we do expect, and we expect him to be our first signing of this transfer window, how will he fit in? We've got Martinelli already on the left wing. Scored back-to-back since the World Cup has come back to town. So where will Mudryk play? For me, he's going to start off the bench and be an impact player. But what's going to happen is I think we can see Martinelli move to the middle potentially. Left-hand side, like an impact style. Or even start should someone like Nketiah, for example, be unfit. Or, yeah, for example, not having an impact on the game. So yeah, that's why I think Mudryk could be a real option for this Arsenal team. And at the end of the day, it's creating depth. No team like Man City have got depth in so many of their positions. We've got one like Mahrez, Foden, etc. They've got so many players that can play. We need more of that. Because if Saka gets injured, it drops to Reece Nelson. If Reece Nelson gets injured, it drops to no one. Or Kozia Dubry. On the other side, Martinelli gets injured, it drops to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe is currently injured. He gets injured, there's no one. That's basically how it is for Arsenal right now. The drop-off from our starting 11 to our bench is steep. And from our bench to our reserves is even steeper. We need assets and we need top-quality players in every position. And Mudryk is exactly that. Is a marquee signing that can give us a boost this January, just like Luis Diaz did for Liverpool the January before. Let me know your thoughts on Mudryk in the comment section. I really do believe this transfer will go through. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below for daily Arsenal transfer news, Arsenal match reactions, and just Arsenal news in general. I've been Mykhaylo Mudryk. See you all in my next video.